In this video, I'm taking a look and talking about the Burson Conductor. And what this is basically an audiophile headphone amplifier, DAC, and preamp. So it's a 3-in-1 device. It's got a high quality DAC inside, so I can run through my computer. It goes from my computer to this. And then the outputs provide me a good, nice quality output for the headphones, as well as a preamp to go to my speakers. So it has a full assemblage of inputs and outputs basically, and you'll see in this video I'll superimpose video of the back panel as well. Here, it's got a really cool design, very sleek and modern, and just a nice high quality design. You can tell they've paid very good attention to detail and to design in designing this. The whole thing is an aluminum enclosure, which also acts as the heat sink for it as well to sort of dissipate the heat. And it's got a very good build quality, real nice quality feet on it. Also, the enclosure is supposed to be sound isolating as well. So basically, through and throughout, the Burson Conductor is a quality, piece of workmanship. They've really paid a lot of attention to the design of it, both inside and out. And if you look on their website, they talk about all the technical stuff inside, but they have designed it basically, without going into all the technical stuff, they have designed this with sound quality in mind and low noise in mind. So it's really optimized for, really good, clean audio quality. Now it outputs a whopping 4 watts maximum through the headphone jack, which is quite a lot. So it's quite powerful. It matches very well with my Odyssey LCD3s. The Odyssey LCD3s sound really great through this. Now granted, you won't get the full 4 watts of output power on the Odysseys. It just depends on your impedance of your headphones. On the Odysseys, I believe you get 1.28 watts of power output, which is plenty for the Odysseys. The Odysseys want at least 1 watt, ideally. And I can say that it's a good match because the Burson just has a really great sound, and it's just a really great match for the Odysseys. On the front panel, you've got a stepped attenuator volume control. So this volume control here kind of clicks. That provides a much cleaner output because oftentimes the volume knob is a weak link and sometimes degrades your audio quality. And then looking here, it's real simple. You've got, you press this, you've got low, medium, and high gain. And then here is what cycles through the inputs. You've got 2 analog inputs, you've got a Toast-Link input, you've got a coaxial input, and then you've got a USB input. So I'm running on USB right now. Another thing is they've made this pretty easy to upgrade. You can open this up and upgrade it yourself fairly easily. I've actually upgraded the internal USB module. It used to come with, I believe, a tenor USB module. And they've recently come out with, Burson has recently come out with a newer module, I think by CM Media or something like that, which is a little bit higher quality USB module. So I was able to order that from Burson in Australia. They are an Australian company, and just install that myself. That was pretty easy. And also when I took a look inside in there, the DAC is very easily removable and upgradable as well. They just basically plug in, the cards just basically plug in there. So, a really nice design. Now this is not a balanced headphone amplifier. I've read some things online that Burson was considering doing it balanced, but it didn't sound good. It actually sounded too bright or something like that, so they went with single-ended. And I do have to say that this being a single-ended output headphone amplifier, it sounds as good as some balanced headphone amplifiers that I've tried. So you don't necessarily need balanced if the single-ended, technology and engineering of it is really good. And that is certainly the case with the Burson Conductor. It's really optimized, I think, for a good quality sound. So I'm pretty impressed with it. I don't want to make this video real technical. I'm not going to talk about all of the stuff that it incorporates, but if you go on their website, they talk about every piece of it: the DAC, the headphone amplifier, the preamp, the connectivity, and all that. It's all optimized to have the cleanest sort of signal chain through it, as well as providing, a musical sound. In terms of my impressions on the general sound signature of the Burson Conductor, it's hard to even put in words, but it basically is great throughout the entire range. The bass, mids, and highs are just so creamy smooth and excellent. Very little harshness to it, a great bass response and impact. And also the mids are really quite good. The vocals are extremely smooth and really quite good. In the US, this retails for about $1,850, and it's not too big. It kind of fits on your, it is a little bit big, but it fits on your desk or your table pretty well. And I'm pretty happy with it so far. I like the sound I'm getting out of it, and it's a real good match for the Odyssey headphones. In the sort of headphone or head-fi realm, you really almost have to find a synergy between the headphone amp as well as the headphones. Not all headphones will work with all amps equally as well. So you want to find a good synergy, a good match. And so for the headphones that I prefer, the Odyssey LCD3s, the Burson Conductor is really a great match for those. Now that's not to say it doesn't work well with other headphones, but I haven't tried every headphone out there, and my headphone of choice is the LCD3s, so the Burson Conductor really works well for those. So Burson has done a lot to sort of minimize noise and optimize the audio quality internally, both in terms of their circuit designs as well as the physical design of the Burson Conductor. And I think they've done a pretty good job. Burson is, I think, a relatively small company. They're in Australia. I tend to like boxes like this that are multi-purpose. I don't necessarily like to have separates. I think the signal was cleaner. Personally, I sort of think that if it's optimized well and done right, you can get a cleaner signal by having the preamp, the DAC, and the headphone amp all in one device, rather than having like separate boxes and then using cables to connect them all. Also, it's just a cleaner look and implementation as well. That's not to say in the future that I won't have separates or I won't have another device in the future, because I'm always buying and selling things and I'm always changing up my system. But for now, I'm quite satisfied with the Burson Conductor. And again, I've compared it directly to some amplifiers that are balanced, and the Burson Conductor really has a nice sound that just totally agrees with my ears and my hearing. It's dynamic and smooth and liquid, very lush sounding. It's got a real lush sound to it, not harsh at all. So thanks for watching this video. Again, this has been my look of the Burson Conductor 3-in-1 headphone amplifier, preamplifier, and DAC. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them, and I'll see you in my next video.